Welcome to this recording of our recent symposium, which was held on September 19th and September 20th here at the UW-Madison, titled From Russia with German: Migration Experiences Across Three Continents. It is sponsored by the Max Kade Institute for German American Studies, which was founded just over 40 years ago with a twofold mission. On the one hand, we document and interpret the history and legacy of the migration of German speakers to America with a focus on multicultural contact and change. Just as important is the second pillar of our mission, whereby we disseminate the fruits of German American research among students, scholars, and the general public. Our work is grounded in the Wisconsin idea, the principle that what we do in the institutions that form the universities of Wisconsin should be a source of, quote, beneficent influence to people across the state and the world. Over the past 4 decades, the scope of our work has broadened, especially with respect to the definition of American, to include Canada and Latin America. Our last symposium, held in 2022, 19th Century Echoes, German Settlers and Explorers in South America, exemplified this expansion of the geographic span of our work. What we do is also diversified conceptually. A ground-level examination of the reality of migration of any group reveals that contact and change are the norm. Even in more ethnically homogeneous islands of settlement, cultures have never been static. They've never been frozen in time, but profoundly dynamic. Contact and change are reflected in every aspect of life in migrant communities, including language, foodways, material culture, and civic affairs. The interactive nature of human migration is universal. At the Max Kade Institute, we aim to understand how the experiences of specifically German-speaking migrants connect with the experiences of other cultural groups, both migrant and indigenous. This symposium centered on groups of people whose ancestors migrated from German-speaking Central Europe into the Russian Empire in the 18th and early 19th centuries. Approximately 100 years later, over 300,000 German speakers left Russia and headed westward, with most settling in the Great Plains states and the Prairie provinces of Canada. A few thousand more migrated to Brazil and other South American countries. Other Russian Germans followed during the Cold War years and after the fall of the Soviet Union, most by way of the Federal Republic of Germany. These migrants brought with them the distinct cultures, traditions, life experiences, and identities that they had forged in the isolated settings along the Volga River, the Black Sea, Volhynia, the Caucasus, and other places where, quote, German colonies had been established. And just as these colonies never represented little Germanys in Russia, so did the communities their descendants founded, more typically the established communities in which their descendants settled, display the hallmarks of change. In this symposium, we explored the migration history and experiences of Germans from Russia and the Americas, their evolving traditions and identities, as well as their and their descendants' attitudes toward their two ancestral homeland. We highlighted the following topics: Russian Germans in the global context, past and present; material culture, with a focus on textiles and vernacular architecture; language maintenance and change; and Mennonites as an example of a faith-based subgroup. We want to thank our co-sponsors that made this event possible: the UW-Madison Center for European Studies, the Center for Russia, East Europe, and Central Asia, the Department of German, Nordic, and Slavic Plus, and the Friends of the Max Kade Institute. We are also grateful for generous financial support from the UW-Madison Anonymous Fund. I hope you enjoyed this recording of the symposium and that you participate in future events sponsored by the Max Kade Institute.